Hello everyone, welcome to course study on solid mechanics. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about introduction to strain and Hooke's law. Now, what is strain? When a body is subjected to axial load, it undergoes a change in its length. This change in length is usually called as deformation. The deformation per unit length of the body is termed as strain. Therefore, in general, the strain is the measure of deformation caused due to the external loading. Now, when any body is subjected to external load, it gets deformed, means it changes its shape and size. So, the ratio of change in dimension of the body to its original dimension is known as strain. Remember that as it is the ratio of two similar quantity, strain has no dimension. So, it's a dimensionless quantity. It is denoted by the letter E or epsilon. Strain has different types. The first one is tensile strain, compressive strain, volumetric strain, and shear strain. Shear strain, it is also known as tangential strain. Now we will discuss each strain one by one. Now what is tensile strain? Tensile strain, it is the ratio of increase in length to the original length of the body when such a body is subjected to a pull force or a tensile force. Remember that tensile strain, it is abbreviated as epsilon T and is considered as positive strain. Compressive strain, it is the ratio of decrease in length to the original length of the body when such a body is subjected to push force. Compressive strain is denoted by the letter epsilon C and is considered as a negative strain. Now we have volumetric strain. The name itself indicates what is volumetric strain. It is the ratio of change in volume to the original volume of the body. We will discuss volumetric strain in the next slide in detail. Volumetric strain, it is also known as dilatation. Remember that volumetric strain, it is also known as dilatation. Now we will discuss shear strain or tangential strain in detail. Shear strain or tangential strain is denoted by the letter phi. It is due to the effect of shear stress. Shear strain is the measure of small distortion of the block caused by the shear force. Now from figure we can see that consider a rectangular block ABCD whose one end is fixed and other end is subjected to a force P. After the application of the force P, the body gets distorts through an angle phi and it occupies a new position A, B, C dash, D dash. Therefore, as said earlier, shear strain is the measure of small distortion of the block. We are going to calculate that small distortion of the block. Means we have to find out the value of phi. Therefore, shear strain phi is equal to, from the figure we can see that tan of phi is equal to opposite side divided by the adjacent side. Now the opposite side is d1 upon h. Adjacent side is h. So it is tan of phi. But as angle phi is very small, tan of phi is approximately equal to phi. Therefore, the shear strain is given by tan of phi is equal to phi. Now we have volumetric strain. It is denoted by the letter epsilon V. As discussed earlier, volumetric strain, it is the ratio of change in volume upon original volume. Therefore, mathematically it is given by delta V upon V. But all of you know that volume is nothing but it is length into width into height or thickness. Therefore, V is equal to L into B into T. As V is a function of more than one variable, so we have to consider a partial differentiation. Therefore, by partial differentiation, we have delta V is equal to delta L into BT. plus delta B into LT plus delta T into LB. We have used a chain rule to find out the value of delta V. Now if I divide the entire equation by V, then we have delta V by V is equal to delta L BT plus delta B LT plus delta T LB upon L into B into T. After solving the equation, we have delta L upon L plus delta B upon B plus delta T upon T. Therefore, we have epsilon V is equal to, all of you know that delta L upon L is nothing but it's a change in length upon original length. So we can consider it as the linear strain. Therefore, it is denoted by the letter epsilon L. Next one, delta B upon B, it is the lateral strain. Therefore, we have the lateral strain given by epsilon B, and the lateral strain is epsilon D. Therefore, we have epsilon V is equal to epsilon L minus mu into epsilon L minus mu into epsilon L. We have used a Poisson's ratio to find out this value. Therefore, epsilon V is equal to epsilon L into 1 minus mu. This is the value of volumetric strain which we have found out. Now, we will discuss about the Hooke's law and the elastic moduli. What it means, Hooke's law? Hooke's law states that when a body is loaded within its elastic limit, the stress is directly proportional to the strain. Or, in another way, we can express Hooke's law by within the elastic limit, the ratio of stress applied to the strain is constant. So that ratio, which is constant one, is known as modulus of elasticity or elastic modulus. Or it is also known as Young's modulus because it has invented by the scientist Young's. Mathematically, Hooke's law within the elastic limit is given by epsilon is directly proportional to E. Epsilon sigma is directly proportional to epsilon. Therefore, we have sigma is equal to E into epsilon. But all of you know that sigma is equal to P by A and epsilon is equal to change in length upon original length. If I put those values in the above equation, we have E is equal to PL upon A into delta L. This is the value of Young's modulus of elasticity which we have calculated. Now what is Young's modulus? Young's modulus is generally assumed to be same in tension or compression. And for most of the engineering application, it has a high numerical value. Now in the given table, there are some values are given for the Young's modulus of elasticity. If I consider a material mild steel, then it has a Young's modulus equal to 210 GPa, gigapascal. If I consider copper, it has the Young's modulus of elasticity 120. For the bone, we have Young's modulus equal to 18. For plastics, Young's modulus of elasticity is 2 GPa, and for the rubber, the Young's modulus of elasticity is 0.02. Means as the material become more stiff, then the modulus of elasticity go on increasing. So if I compare the value of mild steel and the rubber, we can see the difference between them. Mild steel has a Young's modulus of elasticity 210 GPa, whereas rubber has the Young's modulus of elasticity 0.02 GPa. Here it is, we have completed the topic on strain and the Hooke's law. In the next topic, we will discuss another one. Thank you.